Hello everyone, my name is Sheen and welcome back to Savannah Vista. At the moment you are seeing what I've built in between the episodes, which is a flamingo habitat, which is part of the river experience that I want to build here. So yeah, I apologize in advance if these cinematic shots are a bit bumpy, but I recorded them after I had my eye surgery. And also, if this video is not going to be as edited as normal or as I am doing in the last few videos, it's because my eye is just striking and it's just like, no, I can't do that. So maybe we have to do with a lesser edited video, but we'll see. At the moment I just began recording the voiceover, so, and I didn't edit at the moment, so because I always do that in junctions, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, as of now, you see what I've built before my eye surgery. So in terms of what I want this zoo to be, I have, like I said, I already have all the animals that I want to have in here, and today we are building for the African Spurred Tortoise and the Thomson Gazelles, because I don't want to build again for the Gazelles so soon, even though they have the enrichment item, the enrichment with the African Spurred Tortoise. So yeah, now you can also see where the habitat is going to be, and I first started with making a secluded area only for the tortoises. But to be honest, that was more of a challenge than I care to admit, because for some reason the Thomson Gazelles could always get into that. Like, I thought at first it was because I didn't have the habitat parameter around it, so that they can go around it and go from the other side into the secluded area for the tortoise. But even after I finished that, and even now, after I finished the whole habitat, they still can jump into it, even though I made sure that there are a lot of non-traversable plants between these areas, so in hopes to make it large enough, the non-traversable area for them, that they could not jump over it. But it seems the small portion that I needed to have traversable for the tortoises could be enough for the Thomson Gazelles to still jump over there, or maybe the non-traversable area is not wide enough so they can still jump over there. So yeah, I'm just going to ignore this problem for now. Maybe, and this is a really big maybe, I will take a look at it in a month or so after I can see more, but at the moment I will just not acknowledge that this is something that can happen. I will make sure that I almost never see Thomson Gazelles in there, because they should not be in there. It was specifically designed to only have the tortoises, so yeah, this made me a bit more mad than I care to admit. I'm not really having any plan or rhyme or reason to what am I building when, so you can see me now starting to get a bit more foliage in, because at this time my eye was already protesting a bit, so I needed to do something easier on the eye, and it turns out placing foliage is not only the favorite part of this game, but also the one that I I don't need to look the most at. So this was getting really easy for me, but at the same time I wanted to do the rest of the habitat barrier, and then I kind of plopped back into that, and it's just a whole mess, this build, to be honest. Whereas normally I kind of have a specific way of doing my habitats, but today or this time it just I wasn't able to get it done like that. As you can see me here, now I'm again building a part of the habitat barrier, so even though I already have half of the foliage in there, it's just a totally different thing than what I built. It's just all over the place. And you could also see me there for a minute, for a hot second, going back to the back side of the zoo and like clicking some of these cubes, and I made these cubes in the colors that I think I want to have in the zoo. So I think they are like the orange and the green one that we also have in the Kirk's Dig Dig and Meerkat habitat, as well as a blue and a purple. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the purple and the blue, since I don't know if they really fit like that, but like I wanted to have them, and just so that I don't need to like copy them somewhere on my PC, I just put them as cubes in there. And yeah, we'll see. Maybe I use them more, maybe I chose other colors. I'm not quite sure at the moment. Now you can see me doing the shelter building. And for the shelter building, I did something really interesting because, like I said in the first part, I don't really like the idea of this zoo being just African themed and like not really like I said, African is not really an architecture. It's like so many different architectures. So the lovely Sparrow sent me a link to a Twitter thread or an X thread where there are different African architectures, like via a few pictures, and I was just looking at them and deciding what architecture style I wanted this particular build to have, and I decided for this shelter to go for a modern Sudano-Sahelian architecture, if I pronounced that correct. So yeah, I looked up a few images on Google and then kind of went to work. I don't know how actually accurate this building now is, so I will just say it's inspired by modern Sudano-Sahelian architecture instead of a faithful recreation. And I also made sure to have a sign that is saying which architecture style this building belongs to. And I'm not sure as of now if I plan to now make the whole zoo in this architecture style, or if I want to like do different styles, but for every style I will have another sign that tells you from which architecture style this is derived from. But I am leaning more towards having different styles in my zoo, just so I can experiment with different styles and architectures. Prepare to see a lot of different African styles in this zoo. There was a point in this building where I wasn't really sure what I was going to build, because half of the habitat was done and the other half, which is directly next to the river, I didn't know what to do with it, because I wanted to have a round way for the guests, but at the same time Thomson gazelles are quite shy animals and I don't want them to be upset about all the guests that are going there. So I decided in the end I would raise the last part of the habitat up, so if you are standing at the viewing area where you have the hedges and the fence as a barrier, you can see them from down there, but the further you look away, the more higher the animals can get. So I just thought this would be a nice nod to how real zoos do that. This is also an idea that came from Simply Zoological, a fellow YouTuber, and yeah, I really took her advice and made this 2 times. The second time I made it a little bit different, because I decided I wanted to have a little hill in the middle of the habitat, but originally the plan was to have like this 2 fence thingy where you have like 2 fences. You mostly see this with elephants and stuff, but I wanted to have it with the Thomson gazelles for some reason. But then I realized I made the same mistake that I made with the Kirk Dig Digs and the meerkat habitats. I didn't have water in there, so I quickly needed to change that, and I kind of scrapped the idea of having a 2 fence type of fencing and instead opted for you can see the animals from a higher viewpoint, like not you are higher but the animals are higher and they can drink from there, and you are a little bit under them, and then you can just see them drink from there. And with these last words, I am going to let you enjoy the cinematic shots that I made, where you will also be able to really see what I meant with the water area, in case you didn't get my rambling here. So yeah, I hope you liked this video, and I hope we will see each other in the next one. Bye!